you just discovered that you or someone you love was born in late May and early June, or if you just discovered that you have a lot of placements in the sign called Gemini, watch this video because I'm going to explain everything you need to know about the Gemini personality, including what this Gemini sign's personality traits are going to be and what the Gemini archetype is all about, including the technical stuff as a brief overview. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name is Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing systems and astrology because I was the kind of person who did not understand themselves and I was constantly confused about my identity and my desires. Then I discovered these as personality systems like the Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, and astrology, and for once, for the first time ever, my life made sense and I knew what I wanted the most. So that's why I'm here to help you understand your astrology and personality so that you can live simply in alignment with your desires. Before I dive into what it means to have the Gemini sign in your birth chart and what the Gemini sign is all about, grab the free birth chart workbook in the link in the description below. That takes less than 15 minutes to understand the basics of your chart using journal prompts so that you can live in alignment with your desires and with your soul's unique energetic imprint. So when we're first getting into astrology, if you're new to astrology watching this, you're going to know that, or even if you're someone who's not new to astrology, you know that when you first got into astrology, it was probably because someone walked up to you and said, "What's your sign?" And you kind of gave a confused look and went, I think it's Gemini because I was like born around this date. This is referring to our sun sign. So today I'm going to break down what it means to have Gemini as your sun sign. But keep in mind that the sun is just one placement out of many in our birth chart. So someone can have strong Gemini traits and Gemini energy even if their sun is not in the sign of Gemini. So for example, if you have a Gemini moon, a Gemini rising, a Gemini Mars, you could have strong Gemini energy in your chart. So you should still watch this video to understand what the Gemini archetype is and what you need to know about the Gemini sign and what their personality traits are going to be. Gemini is the third sign in the zodiac wheel. It comes right before Taurus. And Taurus is all about our material comfort. It's where we start to slow down, listen to the birds, smell the flowers, all those sensual, enjoyable pleasures. Gemini is where we start kicking up speed again. So I like to think of it as steps in a journey because the zodiac wheel really reflects the 12 steps of the hero's journey and vice versa. So Aries is where we're first born, initiating in the world, being bold. Then we learn to slow down when we get to Taurus and enjoy comforts. We're just enjoying how it makes us feel in a selfish sense, in a way. Gemini is where we start getting curious about those comforts. So curiosity is one of the biggest traits for Gemini people or people who have a Gemini placement. And one more time, in case I didn't say it clear enough earlier in the video, you have a Gemini sun if you are born in late May or early June. So around, if you were born after the 20th of May to around the 20th of June, you have a Gemini sun. A key trait of Gemini is their curiosity. They learning, like I said, Taurus is where we are enjoying comforts and Gemini is where we become curious about them. We start to think in a way for the first time. So there are 4 elements in astrology. There's obviously water, earth, fire, and air. Aries is a fire sign. This is all about, fire is always about initiation and passion and just taking charge, action. Earth is about material comfort, security, making sure that we are grounded. Air is all about our intellect, how we think. Whenever we have a planet or placement in an air sign, we become very mentally stimulated. So Gemini is the first air sign that we interact with, and we start to use our minds for the first time in the sense of observing the world. So Gemini, people who have Gemini traits or Gemini sun, tend to be observers of the world. Whether that is through a curiosity or through a social ability. Gemini is known and characterized commonly by their social butterfly nature. And I like to say wherever we have Gemini, or as myself who has a Gemini placement, there's this tendency to follow the butterfly. oh, where's that going? I'm just so curious. I want to find out. Oh, I got distracted by another butterfly. Now I'm going to go over here. Gemini is curious. They want to observe everything. They're curious by everything. They're fascinated by everything. And this makes them very social and friendly people. So Gemini is someone who is definitely has a tendency to be a social butterfly, whether that's the most enthusiastic person or the quiet social follower. Gemini wants to interact with people and with places so that they can acquire knowledge. Gemini is said to be the messenger of astrology, of the zodiac. Every zodiac sign is ruled by a planet. And the planet that rules over Gemini is Mercury. And Mercury, as we know, is representative of Hermes, and Hermes is the messenger of the gods. So Gemini follows suit after his parent, so to say. So Gemini's role in the world is to acquire information through a neutral lens, just taking in the data, and to share that data and message with other people. So in one sense, Gemini people can be said to be gossipers because they tend to take in modern day information, which tends to be gossip about other people's drama, what this celebrity did, what he said, what she did, what all these things, and pass it on to other people. And Gemini is, again, they want to experience everything. They want to take in all the information. So they tend to not stick with one group, so to say. They like to bounce between every group and have a finger in every pie. So Gemini can seem like they tend to be friends of everyone, especially for those who have a strong Gemini sun. People who are comfortable with embracing this sun in Gemini are going to be friends of everyone. Everyone seems to like them. They seem to be sociable and friendly. They talk to everyone. You can commonly see these people bouncing around the room from their different groups of buddies in order to see what's up. What is the latest information that they can take in and transfer to the next group? Gemini energy means a high amount of mental energy. So people who have a Gemini sun have a high value on mental stimulation. Our sun sign is our general personality tendencies, how people generally perceive us and how we generally perceive ourselves. And it also tends to show what some of our biggest values are out of life. So an Aries sun has a high value in life on acting off of impulse and just living to the fullest and charging it straight on. A Taurus sun has a huge value on material comfort in life. Gemini suns have a huge value on mental stimulation, which is why they're so good at transferring information and hopping from friend group to friend group, because they want to be mentally stimulated. The struggle that comes up for Gemini suns is that they need so much mental stimulation that if they're not constantly gaining information, they end up overthinking and spinning their wheels. Think of it as like a hamster wheel going on in their brain if they're not taking in gossip or information. Which is why also Gemini, not only is Gemini suns and people who have strong Gemini energy are not only social butterflies and gossipers who seem to be loved by everyone, but they're also massively passionate about learning. So people with a Gemini sun can seem to always be trying the next new thing. I'm learning how to fix cars. I'm going to study mechanics. I'm going to learn how to whitewater raft. Oh, now I'm going skydiving with this buddy tomorrow. They can seem like they're always doing or learning something new. And to the outside world, we can view Gemini suns as, wow, these people are always doing something new. It's crazy. And this is because the Gemini sun values learning. They want to learn new things and they are so curious to figure out how it works. So they can't help but do that. And it's good that they do so because it is fulfilling for them. Overall, it's better for Gemini suns to feel this desire to learn through active means, because what can end up happening commonly for people who have a Gemini sun, you might find that your social groups are never quite stimulating enough. While yes, you do like to take in gossip or drama at sometimes, or hear the latest facts or things going on in the news, you might find yourself getting bored. And this is because you desire a level of intellectual debate that helps you or allows you to be more intelligent, that allows you to challenge yourself mentally. So, like I said earlier, You can have strong Gemini energy in your chart without being a Gemini Sun. And this past fact that I just said about needing to basically debate with people is especially true for people who maybe have Moon in Gemini, or especially a Mercury in Gemini. Mercury in Gemini wants to debate, and they're very frustrated when they don't get to intellectually challenge themselves. People with strong Gemini energy, because of this mental sharpness and ability to take in so much information, can oftentimes get labeled anxious or flighty. And this is not because they're trying to be so. It's not that they really do care less. It's that they have so much mental energy that they can't help but try to figure out how to channel it as fast as possible. So if you know someone with a Gemini Sun, or you have a Gemini Sun, people might commonly ask you, why are you anxious? Or like, are you worried? They always seem to think that there's something wrong with you because you can't seem to just focus and relax around them. And it's not, and it is partially true that you might not feel relaxed, but it's because you're seeking mental stimulation. So Gemini people feel the most at home when they are mentally stimulated, whether that's through learning, doing a course, or reading a book, or even listening to other people share a ton of information. They are more comfortable the more mentally stimulated they are. And they do commonly feel anxious if they're not doing enough and hearing people vent their feelings. And this is another trait of the Gemini. Another trait of Gemini is that they are an air sign. They're naturally driven by intellect. They want to think and learn, not feel necessarily. And this is so especially true for people who have a Gemini moon. They can have trouble expressing emotion because Gemini is naturally so focused on facts that they might think what they feel, but feeling what they feel is a whole different story. And this can make Geminis very uncomfortable to talk about feelings because they don't know how to systemize it or turn it into data. It can seem so unlinear. Gemini wants to move in a linear fashion, and generally, while they may seem scattered and bouncing from place to place, they are systemizing as they go. We talk a lot about the Myers-Briggs, the MBTI on this channel, and we've spoken previously about the function called TI. If you don't know much about the cognitive functions, check out our channel later for more on that. But the TI function is literally always putting things and categorizing it into boxes. Gemini has a very similar trait. Their whole purpose of taking in information is simply to categorize it, not to necessarily apply it to help things or to understand something better. It's just to know where it goes. So Gemini, when it comes to feeling feelings and expressing feelings or forming intimacy with people, it can feel awkward for them because they're so used to just categorizing and remaining neutral and factual that this unlinear movement of expressing emotion can seem pointless or it can seem untrue. Oftentimes, Geminis can find themselves trying to express how they feel or someone pestering them about expressing how they feel, and they just don't understand exactly what to say because it just feels so awkward and unnatural. And I don't really know. I would say I feel sad, but I don't know if I really feel sad because I don't really know how to feel what I feel. This can change based off of whatever sign your moon is in, because your moon is also how you feel and what your desires are. And to connect those two a little more, because it's so important to understand that people with a Gemini sun naturally have a desire to be intellectually stimulated, and they should absolutely chase that curiosity and follow those butterflies for fulfillment. However, your sun sign is not the only area of life that you need fulfillment. Every single placement needs to be fulfilled in your chart. Your Jupiter, your Mercury, your Saturn, your North Node, and your moon sign, which is one of the biggest ones. Your moon sign is quite possibly one of the most important aspects of your chart, and it shows you what you need for emotional fulfillment. So someone with maybe a Gemini sun, yes, they do want to follow their curiosity, learn more, take in information, and be friends with everyone so that they can be constantly mentally stimulated. But maybe they have a moon in something much softer like Cancer, and they really deep down also have a desire for nurturing, to express their emotions, to feel their feelings. So knowing both is extremely important, and knowing that you have a Gemini sign placement, especially if it's your sun sign, is important for your fulfillment, but is definitely not the only factor. So keep that in mind. there you have it. That's everything you need to know about the Gemini sign. What other personality traits did I miss about Gemini? If you have a Gemini sun, leave a comment below and let me know what personality traits I missed. While you're down there, grab the free birth chart workbook where I help you understand the basics of your chart. If you haven't grabbed it already, it takes less than 10 minutes to do the entire thing, and you'll understand how to actually live in alignment with each of your basic placements better after you finish the workbook. So grab the free birth chart workbook in the link in the description below. If you're a workbook person and you are interested in astrology and self-development, you probably want to check out the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle that I have no idea how long I'm offering it for, where we're giving all 30 of our workbooks and courses for only $30. It's an insane deal. I know we are in fact crazy. I'll just blame it on my Mars in Gemini and Mercury in Aries that just likes to act impulsively and put these things up. So all 30 of our workbooks and courses on chakras, Enneagram, astrology, mindfulness, and so much more for only $30. You can get a lifetime worth of self-development and fun ways to make mindfulness fun in the link in the description below in the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle, so grab it now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you understand the Gemini sign and its personality traits. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos on astrology and my breakdown on the zodiac signs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and from my heart to yours, namaste.